Good evening. Welcome to your Monday night update. I'm not Tex.
Oh, you don't do that to yourself. You don't want that.
The other
Trust
guy's Tex. How are
me.
we all?
What a little treat this is, hey? Monday night update, techs and ads.
Yeah.
Ooh, here we both are. Interesting. We just jumped off a call with one of our mentor students at the moment, and we're having a look at this. And I think we'll pretty much say the same thing here as what we did just a moment ago. There's no real clear direction in trend. Yes, we've got this triangle formation right now, but let's. I think it would be interesting to talk just very quickly on that sort of that basic strategy that we just spoke about looking at shorts up towards that supply zone. As this is going to be a quick little tidbit for those who are watching, but let's get a quick update in on BTC ads before we dive into that. What are we seeing at the moment?
So BTC, like I described this afternoon in the Discord, there's a little bit of indecision that I'm seeing here on this time frame. That's isolated on this time frame,
Yeah.
where we've got this formation occurring. We've got some ping ponging between these two levels and getting squeezed up into this corner. Whether or not we reach the corner is another thing, or we break out a little earlier, which we usually do. But it could be an option where we come up and we retest this level at 11,700 again, or obviously with an indecision level that we've got now, no higher highs and no lower lows, where we could come down and retest our level at 11,100. The
Mm.
reason why we're sort of swinging over to the upside of that 11,730 is by the time we get breakout and come up to this level here, we will be satisfying the oversold condition up in steamroller, and will be satisfying the market cycle that we're seeing on a lot of these other indicators, Ty. So it might be a little bit of a case for the upside here in this position, exclusively. But look, in any case, we're not making higher highs, we're not making lower lows, so it could go 50-50. That's our idea, our opinion. We'd be happy to hear what everyone else has to say in the Discord, and even the YouTube comments. Like and subscribe to the video if you haven't already.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we're about to reach an inflection point. We're waiting for that little pop, whether it be to the upside or the downside. If we haven't received it today, then it looks like that midweek volatility or that midweek sort of decision that we end up seeing on Wednesday, Thursday, our time might be on the cards for a potential move where we see which way we are headed, whether it is back up towards this or up towards that supply from that little previous move that we had here. We're going to revisit that particular area before heading back down, or indeed heading back up towards this fib level, or are we going to break down and head back towards this demand that ads highlighted? So one thing that I want to talk about very quickly is for those of you, we were just talking to someone who was a breakout trader. So you're obviously looking for a break, potentially a retest of this diagonal before we move back up to to this supply zone to avoid any type of fake outs that you might see there. And conversely, the same thing again here. We might have a move to the downside where we retest this overall trend line before heading back down towards that demand. But I want to talk about just very quickly, just layering in those shorts that we spoke about a moment ago for people who might want to look at this being a significant zone for a short ads. Do you want to just highlight that again? What we just spoke about a quick second ago?
Absolutely. So if we come up here and we're looking at shorts, layering in short positions is not financial advice, of course, but that would satisfy that overbought level on our steamroller indicator if we were coming up and layering shorts up here. So we're looking at that isolated time frame being overbought. Again, if we're coming down across to the macro scale of things, Ty, where we've got that vicious rejection from that level at 11,750, that gives us even more ammunition for the short positions that we could possibly take at that point, because we are already at that oversold, or overbought condition on our steamroller indicator to validate that supply might be the end of the move.
Yeah, and that's a simple sort of way of I guess taking the stress out of needing to be in front of the screens all the time, which is it seems to be a bit of a common thread at the moment, that people feel like they need to be spending a ton of time in front of the screens in order to be profitable. It's certainly can be the case if you've got a strategy that's strong and that works for being in front of the screen. If you are that sort of breakout trader type, which is, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But as Ads and I are swing traders, it's it's a less mentally taxing way of being in trades, or having predefined levels for shorts that are automatic on it, and you got to look at the screen or your trades once or twice a day, or once or twice every couple of days. Ads.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that I'll never pivot from personally.
Yeah.
Being a swing trader, it works out a lot more profitable in the long term.
Yep.
Because you're taking a lot of that a lot of these indicators that you're looking at on a higher time frame are going to be the most valid in the way of indicator data goes. So if you're looking at a pivotable level down here at demand, and you're looking at a daily time frame in the way of a steamroller indicator coming over towards oversold, then that's going to be very reliable to be looking at. And when we came up, you can even back test and run this on your own, where we've got this level here of supply, and then steamroller giving us that level here of oversold. That's going to be very reliable because it is a higher time frame, like a higher time frame setup. And of course, it's going to be more rewarding in the way of keeping your hair, because it's nowhere near as mentally taxing, Ty.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so that's a quick scan, a little bit of a some things that we like to share with people behind the scenes. FUSD in a sort of, I guess, kind of similar boat, but maybe giving us a little bit more of a clearly defined direction, perhaps, on this one.
So, ETH giving us, I say this every week, man, and I know I'm probably a broken record by now, but ETH giving us a little bit more information than BTC, and it is leading the pack a little bit in the way of what direction we could possibly get. I know just previously we said we could get a little bit of a upside potential for BTC. That is our opinion, but ultimately the TA is saying it's a 50-50 shot, no up, no higher highs, no lower lows. We are just looking and squeezing into a formation, so we can break either side of that formation. And however, ETH USD really giving us that little bit more information, where we have made a lower low in the way of price action, and we are now making that lower high there, completing that swing cycle, when we could come up and retest down that level at 352, pending this break of demand for a second time, where we have eaten up through this level once before, and just by the skin of its teeth stayed above it.
Yeah, and it was pretty evident in the last little bit, where we sort of made this failed attempt yet again at that 381 level and rejected off there. We still may revisit that, but just in my opinion now, and again, we are sort of in the midst of this supply and this demand. But as Ad said, I think that's giving a little bit more of an understanding of where ETH might be headed based on the structure that it's showing us currently.
Yeah, unless we get a pivotal volume increase over the next probably couple of days, and make some more structure to the upside, and I'm really referring to the structure up here at 395. Unless we get some movement up out of that, then that trending structure is more than likely going to continue, as you said.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And I think it was last week where we sort of spoke about this little mini range that ETH seems to be in, that I guess is a little bit more reliable in terms of that's horrendous. But you get what I'm saying. This sort of zone that we're kind of pivoting in a little bit here with ETH, which is giving us maybe a little bit more defined on the short term of where things might be headed, or looking for levels of rejection. And we can look, to the left here as well, where we can see where ETH has struggled numerous times around this level now. So I won't be getting too excited about ETH if we would, unless we break that 380 level. And again, I would be looking to see the reaction that we have around that 360 level if we can break. You can see the relevance of that 372 level there as well. So kind of mid sort of range at the moment, but I'm agreeing with Ads that I'm probably looking for that sort of thing at the moment.
Yeah. All right, moving on to our last pair for this evening. Obviously, a Monday night Monday night session this is. We are seeing some violent reaction off this level of supply, and of course steamroller, the shining light.
Steamroller.
It's incredible. But anyway, from this point, we were looking at this level of oversold. We got our movement towards the 61, pulled back, and we got our further movement to our pivot level up the top here. So very nice play, very predictable play on the USD or the DXY. And remember, this is not financial advice. This is just ideas and opinions of Team UTG. But giving us that rejection that we're looking for, because we know the global financial situation at the moment. We know in what direction everything is moving. So we are looking for a bearish bias, honestly. And that's what we did get. We are getting that violent rejection off that level of supply. We are getting that steamroller oversold level again, just missing out on that red area as well. But in any case, we were quite oversold as well, and we are seeing the result of that now. What I'm looking for over the course of this evening, not a whole lot, pending what we're looking at right now. I don't think we'll see, massive candles like this over the course of tonight. Monday night is the lowest trading volume night of the week, so we might see some more of this occur over the course of tomorrow. But the area that I'm looking at, 93.337, 61.8 Fibonacci, a very nice, easy area of interest to look forward to for the DXY over the course of this evening. And honestly, if we stayed on for another half an hour, I reckon we'd get there. So, but that's really it. That's really it from looking for the DXY. That's what I'm looking towards now. I'm very keen to revisit this tomorrow night during our live session, however, to really determine where this ended up. And I think that 61.8 is going to be it, Ty.
Yeah, and for sure. And while we're looking at the DXY having moved to the downside, it is a good opportunity to now look at your major pairs and look at the response that they're having in relation to the DXY moving. You can kind of see it on the right-hand side there. We might start seeing some potential long opportunities, but certainly I would be waiting to see what happens at this reaction at this demand zone, which I certainly agree with ads that will likely test overnight.
Yeah. All right. Perfect.
That is it. Well, if you like what we're sharing, hit that like and that subscribe button on YouTube, and Unity Trading Group for all our guides and indicators and all the tools and everything that we use here inside our channels. And we'll be back tomorrow night for a more in-depth look at the markets. If there are things that you want to look at in the meantime, head into the Discord and tag ads and I, whether it be altcoin pairs, majors, or anything on the reg markets. We'll certainly dive into it and happy to give our opinions on what we're seeing on particular assets. But as always, thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Catch you guys tomorrow.